Okay, for the purposes of this amazing game, I had to get an emulator. It is very, very important that I show this. Am I trying to be the first? No, because the game's been out for many, many years. But I do definitely believe everybody should try it out. So I have a PSP emulator, and as the excuse that many PC fans have used for me is that if you brought the game, then it doesn't really matter if you use an emulator. These are the two games that I definitely remember me buying and liking. Both are RPGs. If you have a PSP, I would recommend that. If I guess you use emulators, I would recommend these two. Still very underrated. I'm gonna have the buttons on screen because I don't have a controller for my PC yet. I'm gonna be trying to do all of that. Remember, this is still the same laptop I've been using since what 2013. So it hasn't let me down. I used to play Sims 4 on it, but clearly I'm not a heavy PC user for gaming, of course. But this is very important. Let's see. So let's see. Is everything working right? I think everything's working right. So we want to start a new game. It's important to start a new game so you know what's going on. So Final Fantasy Crisis Core to Final Fantasy VII, and this is actually the proper way to do it. You play the prequel, then you play Final Fantasy VII, then you watch Advent Children, and then after that you kind of just wait until Final Fantasy VII Remake, or you could watch the Final Fantasy VII related animes that they made, also based off of Crisis Core, and another one I don't know if it was or not. Um, but this is how it started, okay? When you push start, you go to new game, it starts like this. It starts as if it actually is a remake to Final Fantasy VII, even though it's a prequel. The prequel looks better than the original game. It was ran on a PSP. It was made for the PSP. It was never put out digitally. They never, remastered it. They have no plans on remaking it. This is basically the only way to play the game. And this is the only way for me to show you the game. I thought about getting a PSP again. I also thought about buying the game again. And then I decided there will be no way for me to show you the game outside of playing it for you on my laptop, or if you want to call it a PC, whatever, I don't care. Playing it for you on my PC and capturing it. So again, running on an emulator, I don't really much mind it. I've already had probably two PSPs in my lifetime, and I own this game only once. I beat it. It is a very, very good game. As you can see, this is the cutscenes. Um, I can't remember, but I believe Advent Children came out before this game, and then this game came out, which means that the Final Fantasy VII universe, the new versions of the character models, they were they stemmed from Advent Children, and then they go forward. So after Advent Children, this game came out. After this game, the remake came out. And they're all based off the character models and the art style and graphics of Advent Children, which is pretty dope. I mean, you had to redo it because you're not going to use the original character models because they're clearly outdated. But as you can see, if you've ever played Final Fantasy VII, you understand how amazing this is. That this is a story about Zack, and his path was, well, at least the game starts out very similar to what you remember in Final Fantasy VII, how Cloud started out. And it doesn't, it gets even crazier from then with the train station fight and everything like that. I'm definitely gonna need a controller for better gameplay. I'm not saying I can't play the way I'm about to, but clearly I'm not a PC gamer. I'm doing this for the reason that I always do this stuff. I know you guys need to see this. So these are all graphics in game. My laptop's powerful enough to run a PSP emulator. As you can see, the graphics on the PSP version of Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII look way better than that of Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. So again, you can see that he has a similar foam to that of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. But see, I don't remember any cell foams being used in Final Fantasy VII, the original game. So that again, that proves that things that happen in Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, they molded it the new universe of Final Fantasy VII after Advent Children. So Advent Children came out before this game came out. This game comes out before the remake, and the remake looks very similar to this. Another thing I wanted everybody to understand, the combat style in this game was lost and forgotten if you're not watching this video. And what I mean by that is it's freeform. You can run around, you can guard, you can dodge, as you can see. It's very, very similar to Final Fantasy VII Remake gameplay. It's not the same, but it's very similar. So if you ever wanted to know, was Final Fantasy VII ever freeform? Well, the prequel was. The original was turn-based, obviously. Now let's get to it. So the buttons are here displayed on the screen. I don't know if I'm pretty sure you guys don't like this. I don't know. People hate me for all types of reasons, but fuck it. This is very important. So we're just gonna move over here. Again, I really want a controller. So as you can see, not like the smoothest because of me not having a controller. But as you can see, he can freely roll. He can freely slash. Now, he doesn't have the Buster Blade. There's a big, big story about the Buster Blade. Where the Buster Blade comes from. How it plays into Cloud's story later on. See, you can block too. And of course, at any time you can move on around. You're not restricted to a different area. I'm restricted again because I'm using the computer and stuff. But once I get a controller, I'll be all right. I'll be able to play a lot more of these games better. But this is the only one I really wanted to play. And again, I've owned PSPs in the past. I would not be so excited about sharing this information with you if I did not already play the game. But very, very important. Now, I did a poll on Twitter, and I want to thank everybody that's following me on Twitter and also subscribe to me here. The poll was to show this or to play, Dragon Quest 11, which I do need to play. I also need to finish The Last of Us Remaster, and hopefully by the time I actually finish it on Survivor mode, the release date will be coming out. Or PS4 be at 100 million. I don't think it's going to take me that long, though. Okay, let's see what we got. Fucking bastard. There's no energy bar, by the way, on these enemies. Okay, fuck that. What we got? Oh. We got some magic here. So, as you can see, you can freely do magic, very similar to that of I'm about to get my ass beat. What is this? Oh, okay, a different type of sword attack. I don't want to waste all of that, but I'm about to fucking die. I'm gonna need that fucking potion. Um, okay. About to go back to some. Okay. Aerith is in here and Cloud is in here, but a very, very younger version. Um, it's important to dodge. It's important to block. And it's a little bit difficult to play this on a PC, but you know I'm struggling with it for very, very good reason. So again, you don't have to stay still. It's not important for you to do so. Um, I'm gonna just use this. Okay, I know I'm about to die. Okay, fucking ass. You about to fucking kill me. What do we got? I'm about to use all my magic on this guy, man. I might not even be able to fight this first fucking boss. Oh my god. Damn, I doubted myself. Oh, I almost fucking died. Again, I want everybody to take into you just remember this that this is a PSP game. Okay, I'm playing the emulator. Some scenes look better than others. This is in game, like really, really in game. Um, why is he fighting Sephiroth? Um, well, I want to wrap a lot of this stuff up, but not in one video, of course. Basically, Sephiroth is the best right now, even in the business right now. He's his superior officer, and he thinks he's weak. Um, Zack is a little weak, you know. Zack is a little weak. So the wielder of the Buster Blade, as you can see, is Angel. Angel is, um, the basically he's training Zack, so he's his superior as well. Um, Later on down the line, you will see what happens. He passes the Buster Blade down to Zack. Basically, at the end of the game, you find out a lot more about Cloud, which is underneath Zack. Uh, and also, that wasn't really the real Sephiroth. That was a simulation. It's like a danger room type of shit. You can go in there and do different missions anytime you want. The game was really, really deep. You get to travel. You get to, run around Midgard. You get to meet some familiar faces, which of course are a lot younger. Um, so Angel, by the way, doesn't actually use the Buster Blade a lot at all. I think he had blocked some attacks with it, but he kind of just carries it around. He uses another sword. But from what I remember of the story, his father passed down the sword to him. You know, so the father had the sword, passed it to Angel. Angel passed it to Zack. Zack, towards the end, passes it down to Cloud, and that's how Cloud got the sword. But in between everything I just told you, it's very important to play this game or experience it. I don't know if you want to watch a gameplay trailer or whatever, but it's very, very interesting. It really is. I don't really need to save because it's an emulator. I can save anywhere I want. Um, yeah, that's cool. I guess we can fake save it. Cool. So again, all running on a PSP emulator on my computer or laptop, whatever you want to call it. Um, Yeah. So, of course, you already know you work at Shinra. Zack is, again, wants to get stronger. He works out a lot and everything. By the way, if you're wondering if you're going to see Cloud anytime soon, no. They all might have Cloud's similar uniform because they work at Shinra, but none of the people you talk to in the beginning are Cloud. So just because they have a similar outfit does not mean they're Cloud. Now, I don't remember if you could, like, I know you could get, like, bracelets and stuff, you know. Of course, you can see right here the iconic Buster Blade on Angel's back. Yeah, so Zack is basically a rookie. He wants to get stronger. He wants to prove himself, and he does. Again, there's some very familiar faces from the Final Fantasy VII universe, and some of them you didn't see in Final Fantasy VII, but you saw them in Final Fantasy Advent Children. Others, you never saw them in Final Fantasy VII because, again, this is a prequel. So some characters you might have never saw before. Uh, this guy right here is bad news, but his story is amazing. Um, he's the person that made the Loveless books. I believe that's what they're called, the Loveless books. Um, it's a bookstore advertised on Final Fantasy VII that we saw many, many times if you played the original. You can also fast forward, well, on this emulator. Fucking Zack. Yeah. Well, as you can see, I had to get this. I just had to get this in. I mean, if it, I just had to. I really did. Again, remember, everybody that looks like they're Cloud is not Cloud, so don't get too excited every time you see somebody in a similar uniform, because they're not Cloud. It's a little bit of screen tearing here, but that's to be expected. I guess. My computer's not like super powerful, I guess, but I thought it was. But it's just an emulator. Okay. Oh, okay. Fuck. Okay, let's see. Got inboxes and stuff like that. Would probably be nice to, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with the controller because I was saying maybe get a mouse, but this is a PlayStation game and it'd be better to play with a PlayStation controller since I already know the buttons. That's pretty much it, right? Yeah, read all of that shit. Cool. Let's talk to him. Yep, I read it all. Get out of my face. Also on the PSP front, Zack was also included into what was it called? Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. That's the only other game where Zack was also included based off of this. So I think if you go to this computer, you can start your missions or whatever. Where he pointed over where? gonna be difficult as fuck to play like this. As you can see, Zack has a different color outfit compared to the others. This one's more light blue, and as you can see, it has the brown that Cloud would wear, and then this one is more purplish. So you know, I think that clearly symbolizes what their rank is, right? But yeah, so I guess if Cloud will be anyone, it will be this one, and I don't know if that's the lowest rank, but it should be because Cloud really wasn't like a 100% Shinra. He joined them because he took one of their outfits, and I guess that's whichever one he took. That's the one he took. I think it was this color. I think it was this one. But in the game, you know, in Final Fantasy VII, the original game, he had the brown like belt and everything like that. So it's a little bit confusing, but like again, like I said, they're not like okay, they're using Final Fantasy VII clearly. This is a story about before what happened with Final Fantasy VII, but everything like the more of the lore is learned about through Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core and Final Fantasy Advent Children. They dive deeper into it if it wasn't already deep enough. Okay, so this is the computer where you... Oh, okay, there's the save, blah, 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 all that other dumb shit. Oh, they want me to go over here? Okay. God damn it. Do you... New mission available. Do you want to save? Yes. Okay, guys, that seems to be enough for today. I wanted to see if I can sneak one mission in here. Again, you can see the difficulty of playing this game just a little bit. Okay, this is 3rd class. 1st class is the highest rank. Okay, I got you. Go to the save point and push triangle. Oh, okay, and the missions are right there. Okay, that makes sense. I just want to see if I can do a mission and go to the fighting. Okay, so we only have access to the training missions. Shinra, basic training, easy. So we're just going to do this, okay? Okay, they're not doing it. So later on when you play the game, you have the classic Final Fantasy VII fighting music, but they remixed it, and it's so fucking awesome. If you know the music, you know how good it is, but the remix they did with this, so awesome. As you can see, Zack has that little... Everything's so iconic on here. It's really awesome.